12:25, and we actually saw a little rain today, but not a lot to help out the drought. But still, maybe it put a smile on your face. Had to break out this graphic. Haven't used this in forever. I don't think since I've been here. Puddle ducky, we call it. A happy little duck dancing in the rain. It was a funny story behind this. If you have 15 seconds for a story, I used to work with a guy who made this graphic, and he was basically like locked in the basement of the place, like in a room, dark way down there, and he would only come up once in a while, and he always wearing a kilt. I couldn't quite figure that guy out. And he'd walk by me every day, and I'd say, "Hi, Stuart," and he'd just go. That's all he ever said to me, was pretty much nothing. So he came up with that. So puddle ducky, you have to get puddle ducky in some other form here, and next time it rains or does something fun besides stays breezy and hot. Light rain, though, if it did get you excited today, it's mostly over. There's still a little bit of sprinkles out there, but we're getting back to breezy and warm tomorrow and maybe for the next several days. I think the breezes will be a little more pronounced by Thursday and Friday, but you know, pretty consistent valley stuff. Dry weather through this weekend, which is kind of good, kind of bad. Need the rain, but dry weather for activities. We have livestock show kicking off, spring break, big weekend coming up. Maybe have some spring cleaning to do. I don't know. I need to fix my pool and all those fun things. Here we go with the radar, though, and it is pretty dry right now. A little bit of green showing up, indicating some drizzle and some very light rain, mostly across the very southern edge of Cameron County and around Port Mansfield. Still a couple more little spots of drizzle and sprinkles coming from Mexico, but even most of them are fading away. So we zoom in toward Port Mansfield. A lot of this moving out over the bay waters now, but a little bit of drizzle maybe still in the area around Port Mansfield, but you get the idea. There's not much left. Mainly it's just clouds out there, which are getting a few holes in them at times as well. There you can see satellite radar over the last about 12 hours or so, and we did have some drizzle and light rain this morning. Be careful on the roadways. Had a couple of accidents in that very light rain around this morning, and even you saw outside of Harlingen earlier. Across South Texas, though, it's mainly dry off to our west in Mexico. You see how quickly the drizzle and sprinkles are even moving away or fading away. So again, probably another couple hours, but maybe by 3 o'clock or so before the last drizzle falls out of the clouds and spots. And then by this afternoon, may see a few holes in the clouds right before sunset. A few light showers still possible in spots before sunset, before 3 p.m. really. And then after that, partly cloudy tonight. You should see the moon tonight. You know, last night was a full moon, and it was kind of cloudy nearly everywhere. So if you didn't see it last night, it's not much different looking tonight. You can just, you know, take one of those pictures of the moon and say it was like a Insta late post or whatever they say. It's a day late. But tomorrow, sunshine around, maybe a few clouds early in the morning around 6 a.m. But I think after that, the clouds break up and it turns out to be a warm and humid day. The clouds thinning as the day goes on. Should be a fairly sunny afternoon, I think, despite that big fat cloud there. And then by the time we get to Thursday, still, I think the same situation. Maybe some clouds early in the morning, but then skies clear out and that trend continues up until the weekend. So our rain chances are going back down to virtually 0, 20% the rest of this afternoon, really between now and about 3 p.m. Then after that, near 0 all the way through the weekend. Yesterday we were talking about maybe a small shower chance late Saturday or Sunday. It's looking more and more like the best chance of that may stay to the north of the valley. So unless that changes again, we may be dealing with dry weather for the weekend as well. Livestock show kicks off later this week, I think officially Thursday, but the more activities start to really kick in on Friday. So if you're headed there Friday evening, temperatures mainly in the 70s. And pretty warm and somewhat humid out there as we head through the evening. The livestock show in Mercedes will be dry on Friday and most likely dry on Saturday and Sunday as well. So the first 1-5 AccuWeather forecast today, the clouds probably sticking around most of the afternoon, kind of breaking up a little more as we get closer and closer to sunset, but sprinkles and maybe a very, very, very light shower, if you even call it a shower, over by about 3 o'clock. Light winds today, but clouds sticking around and getting a little more humid over the next couple of days. So by tonight, not cooling off a lot, down to 66 degrees, mostly cloudy skies. I think that should be dry weather tonight, just mostly cloudy overnight, and maybe a little bit of patchy fog if the winds stay light enough tonight. But tomorrow is a much warmer day. Highs back in the 80s because more sunshine breaks through. Could even hit 90 in Starr County tomorrow. Still in the 80s on Thursday. By Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, still well into the 80s, and there's a good chance it might touch 90 or so in Starr County, maybe even around McAllen, La Jolla. Western Hidalgo County has a chance to maybe hit 90 each day there for the weekend. Starts to get a little breezy at times, especially by Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We're not talking about really gusty winds, but kind of like winds maybe gusting 20, 25, 30 miles per hour once in a while. But again, the best chance of any rain this weekend still appears to be going north of us up toward the hill country and areas of central Texas. So if you are headed that way for the weekend, you might see a little rain. Otherwise, warm and dry here. We'll keep you updated as we get closer and closer to the weekend. Of course, keep tracking any warm temperatures headed your way in your first 1-5 forecast on Channel 5 News at noon.